Okay, so one of the challenge I know people have been encountering, that they are not able to follow up the 31-day challenge, it's because they've not been able to set up their account, their AWS account, to use Terraform, or they've not been able to set up Terraform to deploy to AWS account. So that's what we'll be covering briefly in this short video. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just quickly going to log into my AWS account. So have my credentials, so I will sign into my AWS account, and of course I will be passing in my MFA for this account. So after passing my MFA in this account, you could see I am back to the account. I have access to the account. So what I will do right now is to head over to IAM. I'm just going to be doing the very simple minimal way for you who is learning and practicing to just be able to set up Terraform to use your AWS. So this is my IAM user right now. I'm going to click on this one user. This is me, the user. Currently as a user, I only have console access. Console in the sense that I can click on here and there, any like the GUI access. But what I want to do is to be able to also give myself the command line access, because we can use Terraform through command line to communicate with AWS. So see what I'm going to do. I'm going to head over to, this is my username. I'm going to head over to security credentials, and when I click on security credentials, I'm going to be creating my own credentials. So what I'll be creating is actually create access key. So there are a lot of credentials you can create. You can generate your API key from here. You can upload a public SSH key if you want to use SSH for, I think they use for code commit. Even with GitHub you can actually use SSH also. But yeah, what I'm interested in is to create access key. Okay, now what do I want to use this access key for? I can use it for, what I'm actually using it for is actually the CLI, which is the command line interface. But here are a list of other things I can use it for. I can use it for application running outside of AWS, third-party services, application running on AWS services and all of that. But I'm interested in the CLI, so I'll click on next. Now, okay, I have to confirm that, then I'll click on next. Now I have to write a description, so I'll just do this description. I can say, so that we'll know why I created this secret key and access key. I can just say that this is for Terraform. Then that's all I need, and I'm going to click on create secret and access key. Now immediately I click on create secret and access key, it's going to give me the access key and it's going to give me the secret key. You can click on show to show the secret key. After this demo, I'll be deleting it because it's very sensitive. Anyone have access to your secret key, to these credentials, can access your system, especially when this account, like the user you are creating this secret and access key for, have a very high permission. If someone have access to this key, they can cause a lot of damage and havoc to your account, in the sense that they can spin up instances with no restriction. But whatever reason, your secret key and access key should not be reachable. I'm just doing it this way for the purpose of demo. On a very day-to-day, we'll implement another method altogether, either using IAM role to be able to get Terraform on AWS. But this is just for demo purpose, for learning purpose. So now that it's been created, what I'm going to do, I'm going to download this CSV. Now this CSV is going to contain my secret key and my access key. So I'll just come here and click on download this CSV file. This downloading the CSV file will make it safe, but if I click on show, it will actually show me the access key, as you can see. Like I said, I'm going to delete this immediately after I finish this recording. So now I have my secret key, I have my access key. How do I now configure it in my terminal? That is the next stage we are going forward to. Okay, so now that we've gotten our secret key and access key, another tool you might be needing on your system is Visual Studio Code. It's available for any of the distribution of OS that you have. It's available on Windows, on Mac, on Ubuntu. It's actually a very good lightweight IDE, which is integrated development environment, that enables you to be able to write your code. So I've just opened my Visual Studio Code. On another hand, you can just open your terminal, but I just want to show you how I can quickly do that. So on this Visual Studio Code, I'm just going to come to my terminal. I clicked on this place to come to my terminal. Now my terminal is not that up, so I'm just going to drag this line up again so that I'm able to see my terminal, and now I can see my terminal. So from here, I'm actually going to be configuring the AWS secret key and access key. And how do I do that? I just need to come to my terminal and type AWS configure. So with AWS configure, that's what I need to do. For now, not be explaining to you about profile, but you can, if you have multiple AWS accounts and you have multiple AWS username and password, then when you want to configure so that you will know which credentials belong to which account, you can actually pass in a profile. AWS configure, then you pass in the profile name and you are configuring that with that profile name. But for now, I'm assuming you don't have anything AWS credentials on your computer, so we are just going to go the simple route. AWS configure, and I press my enter key. Now when I press my enter key, it's going to ask me what is my secret ID, as in my AWS access key ID. It's showing like this with this because I already have some configured before, and that's why I'm doing it this way. So what I will do, I will quickly go back to my AWS account. This is my access key. I'm just going to copy it, then come back to my terminal, and I'm going to paste it here. I'll press enter. Then it's going to ask me what's my AWS secret access key. Come back here again, copy it, right? Then go back again to my terminal and paste it. Okay, and paste it. Then it's going to ask me which region. That's the region I want to be my default region. That even if I don't set region, if I forget to set region, it's just going to deploy to that region. I'm going to be choosing EU West 2. That's my default region I chose. Then it's going to ask me what do I want my output format to be. It's no, most time it's always in the JSON format, but I'm just going to pass it as no, and here we go. So at this point, I've actually configured my terminal to be able to use my credentials. So if there is any Terraform script I run on this terminal, because of these credentials I've just passed in here, is actually going to be deploying directly to that AWS account that I generated these credentials from. Okay, the next thing is how do we get the repo? How do we start working? First off, you need to download Terraform on your system if you've not downloaded Terraform. So I've listed two software you need to download. I said first you have to download Visual Studio Code. Then the second one is that you have to download Terraform. So let me just quickly walk you through how you can download Terraform and install on your Windows machine. So different operating system will determine how you install Terraform. So right now I just searched on Google install Terraform on Windows, and I'm going to click on the search button, then scroll down to see this is actually install Terraform. This is coming from the HashiCorp itself, which is the provider of Terraform. So I'm going to click on this and I'll follow the instruction on how they want me to install Terraform. Let me just accept this privacy. Now they are saying that since I Windows, yes, Windows, I can actually use Chocolately to install Terraform. So it's very easy. Choco install Terraform. There are sometimes that when you do this, I already have Chocolately installed my system, so I'm not going to get an error. But if you copy this and you try to run it and it gives you an error, then the next thing you have to do is to first of all install Chocolately on your Windows. So you are going to do what we call Chocolately install, and if you follow this process, it's just grabbing 2 lines of code. You're able to install Chocolately on your machine. And look at it, oh, it's just even 1 line of code. Just click on this, copy this, and you run it on your machine. After you've installed Chocolatey, then you can come and just do choco install Terraform, and you are able to install Terraform on your system. And voila, that's it. You have Terraform on your system. You already have AWS configured to your system. The next thing is just for you to clone the application. When I make clone the application, go to the GitHub where we put the sample code, clone it. Let me just quickly show you that. So this is the GitHub that we have the application running, and this is it. 31 days AWS, 31 days of AWS. So when you click on this 31 days of AWS, you are going to see the different days that we have. You can see day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. What you can just simply do is to come here, copy this. This is actually code. You can see you can copy this, then you go back to your terminal, and you can just do, at this point, let me, okay, yeah, I can leave it on this directory. I can just do git clone, and I'll paste in the URL of the git I want to clone. So at this point, you can see I've cloned the code here, 31 days, and you can see the code here on my machine. Now if I want, this is day 1, I can just click on day 1. This is Terraform script for day 1. If I want to run just day 1, all I just have to do now is to navigate to the folder by saying cd. The name of the folder is 31 days. Once I just say 31 and I press my tab, it's able to complete it. And after 31 days, I want to also go to day, I think I want to go to day 01. So I go to day 01 VPC. At this point, I am actually in this VPC, right? So the next thing I'm going to do, I can just come and say Terraform init. That's to initialize the Terraform, and I can continue from there. Run my Terraform init. It's installing everything that I need for me. After that, I can run Terraform plan to see what it's going to create on my AWS account. Then after that, I can run Terraform apply to make sure it creates what it's supposed to create. And after that, when it has created those resources, I can just quickly go to my to my AWS account and check that those resources have been created. So now you can see I've run my Terraform init. What am I deploying in this instance? I'm actually deploying my internet gate. I'm deploying my VPC. I deploy my VPC. So the name of the VPC is going to be main VPC. Then I deploy internet gateway, main gateway, public subnets. I'm deploying 2 public subnets and 2 private subnets. Then my route table association for the public and the private subnet. That is actually what I have. So now I'm going to run Terraform plan. Plan means, oh, what's this code? What is it going to do? What is it going to create when it gets to AWS accounts? So as you can see from my running Terraform plan, let me go again. From running, okay, we run Terraform init. That's what initializes. Then the next stage, we run Terraform plan. As you can see from my Terraform plan, it's going to tell me the things that it's going to create. It's going to be creating internet gateway, route table, public route table association, for public, the public subnet, the 2 public subnets. Then this is the private subnet. This the 2 private subnets. Then this is the public subnet. It should just tell you all the things it will be creating. At the end, we'll be having to create 9 resources. Now, mind you, if you were to be clicking on the UI, you have to create, so you have to create the VPC, create the subnet, create all of this. So let me quickly go to UI and show you. So you can see, if you now check, let me quickly, so yeah, if I refresh now, or if I just come now and check under credentials, you will see that I've actually created a credential. Where is it? My access key. Yes, you can see this access key here. That's after I've created it. And when I'm done with it, I'll just come here, click on action, and I will deactivate or delete it. But for now, we need it. So what I'm trying to say is that if I go to my VPC, Here is the VPC. By default, because it's a fresh AWS account, for every AWS region they always have a default VPC. So I'm going to show you that. Look at a VPC. Let me go to, this is the region we're interested in, which is in Europe. You can see they have a VPC, right? This is their default VPC. But when we deploy our own VPC, to be here. But what I'm trying to say is that what we are simply doing that with the code is we are creating a VPC, we are creating a subnet, we are creating a subnet table, we are creating, I think we are creating internet gateway or not. Then this route table also, we are creating route table association. These are what you have to come click on and start doing manually, right? But with the code, just see what will happen. Now that I've just, the next thing I'm going to run after running this Terraform plan, the excess one I'm running plan is for me to be able to see all that is going to be creating. Then the next thing I will do is actually to do Terraform. In this case, I will apply. When you click on Terraform apply, it's going to show you the plan again, and this time it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to execute this plan? Are you sure you want me to deploy these resources? And all you just have to do is just to type yes or a Y, and you will see that you start deploying the resources. So I'm just going to wait for it to apply and I will show you. Sometimes it takes a little time, so let's just wait a little. Okay, now my apply, just like I said, it will still run, it will still show me the plan. And so this is the plan. I will create 9 resources. It will list the name of the resources. Do you want to perform these actions? Terraform will perform the action described above. Only yes will be accepted to approve. So I'm just going to say yes, and that is it. The next thing, Terraform will start deploying the resources. So yes, you can see it's creating the resources. Oh, and I have some errors, so let me quickly fix this. So let me quickly show you the error I have. The error I have was because I changed my region here. Meanwhile, at the code level, I didn't change my region. When I used the code, I was actually deploying on US. So you can see it's referencing US. So it's just not going to work. And if you read the error very well, the error is always clear. You can see, oh, error in creating this. Why? Because of this region. So what I'm just quickly going to do now, I'm just quickly going to update the region. So anywhere I've actually manually passed in the region, I can just come here. Okay, no, let me just do this, either A or B. I'm using US too. I think in how many places is that? 1 2 3 4. Okay, just 4 places. So I'll just right click on it and say change or occurrence, meaning anywhere this is this. No, I didn't get it well. US is to 1. I'm changing everything. US is 1. Change all occurrence. So I'm going to be changing it to EU West 2. That's just what I need. I'm going to save it again, and after that I'm just going to go back again to my code, and I'm going to Terraform init again to initialize it again, because I've changed a lot of region, so I want it to reinitialize. Then I'm going to come here. After initializing, I'm going to run Terraform plan again, or let me just run Terraform apply, because apply will also show you the plan. Is it going to be the same thing? The only difference was that there was a conflict in region. That's why we got that error. So now I've fixed the region and we should be good to go. So let's just wait for it to apply. So as you can see, Terraform is actually creating the resources. You can see it's created them, and immediately before you know, we have apply complete, resources 6 added, 0 change, 0 destroy, meaning it has created the 6 resources. It did not change anything, did not destroy anything. Next thing is to head over to where my VPC is. Remember, we have the default VPC before, so if I refresh this page now, I should be able to see another VPC being added here. You can see this is the main VPC, which is what we named our VPC, and this is actually the IP CIDR we give to this VPC. What do I mean by CIDR? I was the one that specified this IP range 10 this that. So when we come back to our code, you can actually see the IP CIDR here for the default VPC. which is it. We called it the main VPC. Then we can also go and look at our subnet. We have what we call public subnet A and public subnet B. Then I think we also have private subnet A and private subnet B. So we can just quickly go look at that here to make sure that it has been created. So I come back to my subnet. I'm going to be having more additional subnets, and you can see I have 4 additional subnets: public subnets and private subnet B, A, yes, and public subnet A and B. You can see how Terraform has helped us to create it, and it's telling us that these subnets, they belong to the VPC, the main. And also, if I go to the route table, I should be able to see my route table also, which is public route table that was created and is associated with 2 subnets. Okay, so that's it. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I don't want to keep this resource running. Remember, we don't keep any resource running. So the next thing is Terraform destroy. And when I do Terraform destroy, Terraform is going to remove everything. So I don't need to click anything on the console that's on the UI for me to destroy anything, because it's possible. You can see I set up 6 resources, but it's possible when I'm deleting, I delete 5 resources, forgetting 1 resource. It happens. So that's why with Terraform we can actually manage what we have. You can see this is just an introductory to how you can set up Terraform and be able to start running this project. But with time, I will actually explain to you what is state management. How can you actually manage the state? So you can see Terraform has run it. So I have a plan. I'm not creating anything, 0 to add, 0 to change. I'm not changing anything, but I'm destroying 9. Remember, we created 9 resources and it's destroying 9. Should I destroy? And I'm going to say yes, destroy. And that is it. Terraform is going to actually remove those resources from my cloud. So you can see it's destroying them. And now I say destroy complete, resources 9 destroy. And now if I go back here, now this is before I reload, but if I reload this now, my route table is gone. If I come back to my subnet, all these plenty subnets, private this, if I just come refresh it again, the subnets are gone. And also with this VPC, if I come here refresh, the VPC is actually gone. So you can see this is how we use Terraform to set up and destroy everything. So very quickly, because I exposed my credentials while creating this video, I'm just going to be deleting that credentials immediately. So I go back to my IAM, but for your own case you don't have to delete it because you'll be using it for a while. But please don't push it to GitHub repository, don't expose it. And I hope with this you are actually able to follow the 31 days of AWS challenge. So I'll come here, click on my user, come to security, click on this is the secret key and access key I created. I'll just come here, action deactivate, but in this case I'm not just deactivating, I'm going to be deleting it. So I delete these credentials, grab this and paste it here. Okay, deactivate, yeah, okay, so it's deactivated and now I can successfully delete it. So that is it. If you check secret key and access key, I don't have anything anymore. So I hope this helped you out. I hope this gives you the courage to start following the challenge. A quick one that I want to also do is what we call the Terraform documentation. So I'm going to go to Terraform provider for AWS and how you can actually edit and follow up this code. So you see, I just type Terraform provider. This is actually the Terraform documentation. This is the Terraform documentation for AWS. They have a lot of provider for a lot of cloud. So for example, what I was looking at was VPC. How do I create VPC? I just come here and type VPC. So once I type this VPC, all I just have to do is just to scroll down to where I'll actually see my VPC resource. So look at it, VPC means virtual private cloud, and when I click on it, every other thing here are actually going to be VPC. This is how you create a default VPC. You can see name default VPC, right? Then name the normal VPC. So these are the route table we created. This is VPC and this is how they declare it. AWS VPC, this is main, This is the cider block. So you can see I just use the documentation, just grab the documentation to just show us how to do it. For subnet, you can click on this and you see your AWS subnet, and just this is how you do it. So for example, you were to create EC2 instance, just come here, type EC2, right? Type EC2, and every other thing, just scroll down to where you have no, not this, this is ECRO. Scroll down to where you have the elastic this ECS, elastic compute cloud, which is EC2. Oh, we have a lot of this now. Yeah. Oh, what is EC2? Have I missed it? Yeah, let me see. Okay, so here is our EC2, and here you can see from having our IAM image to IAM copy to how you actually create your EC2 instance, how you create your key pair. So anything you want to create, how you create your, this is how we create EC2. We call it AWS instance, but which image are you using? Create your key pair. So with this documentation, you can actually read through it, and while going through the documentation, you can actually see they'll say, oh, this is example usage, meaning how to use it. But there's also what we call reference and attributes, how you can actually reference it. So if you scroll down, they will tell you what it means, how you should use it, which ones are important that you need when you are creating a resource, which ones are not important. So that's just how you go through the documentation to be able to create your resource. I hope it was helpful. I hope with this you'll be able to start following the challenge. Today is the 8th, or yeah, the 9th. So hopefully you'll be able to meet up. So just go to all the subfolders and run it, but I will advise you look at the code so that you actually understand what we are doing better. I wish you well in your cloud journey. Bye.